What I wish that I could do with your work, because your work was often submitted in PDF form, because you used a lot of creative spacing. And unfortunately, there is an aspect to writing that doesn't translate to reading. What I would like for everybody to do is consider reading our blog, reading the blog, reading what has come the month before, reading what comes, watching for our anthologies of the work. And as you listen now, think too about the fact that the written form often reveals something. We don't get to hear each other. This is an incredible opportunity, but don't forget the written word as well.
Hello. I decided to kind of keep it light tonight, though a lot of the work that I did write for the 3030 project was quite heavy. Someone was asking me earlier, Kathleen, is that correct? Christine, that was asking me earlier if there was a theme that evolved, and yes, because I was writing every day, there was something that became, because I didn't do what Robert did, which was ask for titles. I'm not that brave. But because my mind sort of then got into a groove and followed along itself after each poem, the next one kind of would become. Also because it was the beginning of spring in March in Texas, and the cranes were coming and the flowers were coming, though I'm not reading those kind of ecstatic natural poems today. What did happen was I was traveling right before I began this project to see my daughter in San Diego, and I don't love airplanes or airports. So the first poem I'm going to read is about flying in an airplane. The second poem is a poem, both of these were 30-30 poems. The second poem is a poem about flying also, but about a bird that flew into our house. And the third poem, these are all rather long, so I'm only reading three. The third poem is a poem that I wrote many years ago that's published in the book New Texas. It follows nicely, though, with the theme of the second poem, so I think you'll catch on to why I decided on these three. God bless the pilot who flies this jet airplane. May she be full of food and good sex, focused, but not on her one son, who acting as hero, this happened lately, blindfolded her eyes, captured the nanny. God bless this runway with smooth adulation. Make it straight, to the point, timely, true. God bless these two. Crew-cut heads refusing to shut the shade that lets in the sun, that slices through. My vision, its victim. God bless this man and wife with 3 children, 3 under 3, and 2 couples like them who have chosen seats next to mine. Bless laptops and smartphones and tablets that keep us tuned in to the omniscient wireless we love, keep us strapped down to our federal cushions. Listen, this is stuffing the kind law permits. We are in over our heads. Items have shifted. Though a drowning may not be quite imminent for fear of the captain who keeps the light on, here we must sit. God bless Bose headphones. Don't forget iTunes. Thank you for nipples, for silicone sippies, for blankets, for crackers, for coffee, for booze. God bless attendants, bringing us passings. Blessed assurance, gate-changing news. God, I doubt you, curse you too often. I'm begging, please keep us suspended. Keep us from falling. Grant us your grace. And God, Bless this woman who sits here beside me, telling me nothing of her interesting life. May the silence between us fill with salvation. May the babies sleep soundly this whole blessed night. They did not sleep at all. In fact, one of them cried for the entire 3 hours. Birds again. This time the wren, I think, has flown in, snagged a feather for her nest from the found object bouquet on the desk that sits askew. Wasp nests, ball moss, lime green lichened sticks, bones bleached, and stones. A flurry of dust on the desk, a clue. Doors flung open, cerulean sky. Our home welcomes whatever comes. Once, raccoon, I swear it. Hermano printed paws, tiny fingers, white, ghost-like, touching mirrored glass on the wall. She must have stood in the chair. Sitting there, did she think she had found true love? Or did she run from this unknown? Have you ever seen them play? Fat families, under the full moon, frolicking up from the field for easy food they steal. The last time I left town, hubby, not wanting to answer to the cat's demands, now, 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 in, out, around the house he goes, because he knows there is another Tom, a stray, who thinks he's found a home. But no, not if my cat has his say. So hubby left the den, half garage, half den, half claimed by the cat, half claimed by him. Door, yes, you guessed it, open. This time, Skunk. Skunk thought well of this invitation, decided to make herself at home behind the shelves of games and toys. From underneath, a funny noise, a puppy's nose, a yip, a yap, and that skunk stunk like a cold, hard slap. Hours later, I got the call. Skunk had soundly stunk them all. Puppy, hubby, yoga mat, lawn chairs, luggage, coats, and hats, and carpet, lounger, all thrown out. Peroxide, bleach, soda, soap. He had scrubbed. There was no hope. You say, now you close the door. I say, no, there will be more. So we had a couple of big dogs, mutts, Rottweiler-looking mix, and a lab-looking mix. People had dropped off in our neighborhood. It's a very common thing within a rural-ish area, you may have guessed. This is called turning on the turbo. They came slinging slobber through the solar-powered cyclone gate we'd inadvertently left ajar, while we stuck our fingers down the throat of the bulimic addict we'd been stuffing for 20 years, purged it, ready for another decade of feeding on family keepsakes in cardboard. They were wild as witches at the full moon, threw their heads side to side like Godzilla in his final fury, rolled and tossed themselves like canine waves on a sea of dry Bermuda, churning and growling like a Gulf Coast hurricane. They'd been running loose in red-grassed pastures at the end of our street that used to dead end at a barbed wire fence around 1,200 acres of hill country wild, recently sold and subdivided in name properties. They'd been rooting out possums, scaring up jackrabbits, and turning on the turbo after whitetails. Foam-proof still dripped from their soft lab lips. But the pitiful whimpers and ear-flapping head shakes made me take a closer look. Those Beastie Boys looked like they'd been to 6th Street. They had more piercings than that orange-haired chick I saw in Austin. She had 20, and those are the ones I could see. Had to call the vet, make a midnight run. There on the tailgate of the GMC, the Aggie grabbed, pliers in hand, plucked out quills, chuckled, shook his head. Yep, see it about 3 or 4 times a month. Some dog picks a fight with the porcupine, and the porcupine always wins.
Well, thank you very much for coming. Supporting each other by coming to readings, that's so important, to be able to hear one another and not just read each other's work, but supporting bookstores like this, independent bookstores, places where you can not just put your hands on the books, meet each other, meet other people, run into other people. It's very, very important. We have a few Tupelo Press books here. I hope everybody will find something to take home with them from this bookstore, and we thank you very much for hosting this talk. I thank you each for your support of Tupelo Press. It's a press that welcomes an incredibly diverse population of poets. You may have heard of Vida, or if you haven't, there's a lot of talk about who gets published in the poetry world. How do you get your work out? How do you get your work heard? Do you have to be in a poetry family? Do you have to have a lot of money? Do you have to have an MFA? What is it that you have to have? Well, what we have to have are poetry presses that are supported. And your support makes an enormous difference, because Tupelo Press has been publishing women, diverse voices, emerging poets of any age, of any background, for 17 years now. Seek out independent presses to purchase your books from, independent bookstores to buy your books from, and read each other. And now, please get to know one another. Introduce one another, talk, and thank you again so much for coming.